Oh, Mr. Cooper, hang with my main man Cooper. Oh, Mr. Cooper. Say that in this insurance thing. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Cooper, hang with my main man Cooper. Mr. Cooper. Okay, time to do the cascada trick here. Every time we touch, every time I touch, you get it? Because the water's cascading down and her name, the singer's name was Cascada or something, Cascada. Are you going to San Francisco? Even though that song is just like so many Dr. Luke songs. TikTok. I'm just making fun of how the songs are all the same by the same guy, Dr. Luke or something, and although they're different singers, and womanizing with Mario of producer who got caught up with the YouTube movement. Enthusiastic. So today, and because the water's cascading down off the glacier, so cascada, remember? That's what it is. So I will be able to go to the NDP election party. We're making a meeting up at 6 o'clock to witness the election results. Unless I am able to promise myself a few things stuff. I have talking to my friend Alex on the phone, my friend on the phone, and quite something to start studying and what I'm going to get. Always remember, when you're a student, your studies come first, and the more harder you work, the more you cram, the more time you have to get for first time. I finished an assignment, sort of reflection assignment on PTSD and telesponders that the 911 caller discussion. But I didn't really push hard enough to make the next one. So, bad on my end. At the end of the month, we're supposed to do we're going to be doing a self-care night. Every month, we decided to meet up with some friends. And this is what you do when you're students. If you have friends in college, always meet up once a month or something. Just to get touch base. And cram. Meet up occasionally during the month. And you're going to be graduated, most likely you guys are all going to move to different parts of the country or stay within the same country, or stay in different parts of America or Canada or whatever. Your little cohort group will eventually disband, and that sucks. But in the end, we'll go return to the academic heavens that is the academic heavens at the end of our session. Then perhaps maybe we're doing it along the way. But most likely, you guys will all split up and go your different ways. The world needs you. Parts of the economy, the social economy in the world needs you. So we'll grow. It's sad, but that's okay. And that's how these students work. Sometimes even your high school will break up. So that's breaking up. You guys go your own solo careers, like Beatles have. Ringo started his own Wrinkle World, which is evolving into a caveman. Called that true fight tribe in the caveman one that's actually trying to be smart. So evolving to evolve. Interesting kind of premise. But yeah, but that's the single star and starting to be like a little bit movie. And there is also becomes that you also become a narrator when trained. They have a hard technique with it back then. That material. Ultimately, it all keeps the country going and keeps us going. So we grow our lives around this economy. Remember, it's the economy is supposed to serve our lives. For our loyalty, it rewards us with productivity. Unfortunately, some other unscrupulous, more benevolent disease life forms out there. We'll call them benevolent pathogens. Such as conservative voters and whatnot. They kind of like to work on all of our profits, unconscionably on all of our work. We're trying to keep the country alive, but keep the country alive with infrastructure organs. And these are like a disease. Kind of put in, don't really work. It's a parasite, going to the parasite, so. And that brings me to the next point, is today's election day. So, we began our election day. Election celebration. It's gonna run late to the night though. So it's looking good for the NDP. The NDP is becoming once again a kingmaker. And there's no way in hell they're gonna work with the conservatives. So it's a little bit like that. It's gonna hide look like it looks like a highly has a there's a high chance of victory for there's a high chance victory for the it's going to be a victory for the Liberals, but a minority victory. So this means that in order to stay alive, they'll have to work with the NDP, and the NDP is going to push them for a lot of reforms in the country, such as I'm hoping that this time will be equalization of women's pay, equalization of economy.
the father was dissatisfied with his life and move on over to whatever. And a lot of mothers out there, work hard, raising 2 kids, as much as she can, and so I'm just like that. Yes, it's always good to make sure that we're paid more as workers, because the thing is, there's the minimum wage, right? There's minimum wage, but then all the other pay is at the discretion of the bosses. So of course, men are therefore paid more, and women are paid less, even though sometimes women are excellent CEOs and bosses. They're paid at least they're at least paid like 69% less or some shit like that, or I don't know. And that's not right. That's not the democratic. So we need to have at least a pay scale of equalization, make legislation that way. But then that's a commie thing to do, right? That's oh no, you're telling us how to run our economy. What are you, government? Are you some kind of commie or something? That's what the Albertans' mindset is, and no, it's not it at all. It's just we want some equalized payments, and we want to make things fair. So another thing the NDP will try to do is push for more indigenous rights, such as using our vast profitable incomes, billions in incomes. This is a huge country. To at least fix the water, give the indigenous people some basic water. I'm thinking a good way of doing this is you know how we have smaller towns and small towns. Even the smallest towns have in America and Canada have power and water, like really small amounts of it. I play a lot of Fallout, or not Fallout. Left 4 Dead, and pretty much Left 4 Dead. You're wandering the Catskills Mountains or wandering the Appalachian Mountains and stuff. There's East Coast mountains, and it started with small towns, and each small town has its own aquifer, has its own sewage system. Each small town, and has its own electric grid, for example. And then the indigenous people don't even have this. Some of them. So like treat each little indigenous settlement as a small town, like under indigenous control, of course, and feel it that way. So the NDP will try to push for that, and the NDP is also going to try and push for more environmental technology to try to wean out Albertans. The thing is, us Albertans are as a opiate addict, or someone who's dependent on adults because of narcotics. That we feel that we need it, but we don't need it at all. We're like Jem'Hadar soldiers who are stoned on Tetracell White. And we won't die per se, but it feels like withdrawal does feel like it's dying. It does feel like it's the end of the world. I should feel like I quit smoking. I was a heavy smoker when I was in my youth, and I smoked a lot. So it does feel like that. You're irritable. It sucks. 12 steps suck. Why bother going for all this when you can just drink? drink your problems with life away, but that's not a good, that's a maladaptive way of dealing with life's problems. It's a coward's way. Protect, drunks and, it's not to say that you're cowardly, but if you're gonna use alcohol and stuff to deal with life's problems, then instead of facing them head on, you're cowardly. And that's all there is to it. I had a cowardly of a father, and but when you do quit and you try to deal with life on reality terms, then you're strong. You're a strong man. There's lots of actors and stuff. Lots of these super strong superstar athletes that we envy have these problems, in life. I don't know how they have these problems in life. I mean, we all love you and we all give you billions of dollars, yet you still do this kind of thing, and that's very, very strange. So we're gonna open up the door here to do Steam Goes Bye Bye. So put it to the office, and I don't want to record it. Turn on that. Turn on this. Steam goes bye bye. We didn't have much steamage this time for some reason, because the shower head didn't get enough steam out, and it probably just leaked out when I just leaked out. So we're gonna start and study this morning and try to get caught up with all our deficits, and other things the NDP will try to do is create a national health plan. Now, of course, Trudeau's government would then try to claim this. Will claim this as their own work, like not in the plagiarizing format, and and I hope to hell that the NDP can force the government to push for repatriating hundreds of billions of dollars that have gone missing in this country. Hundreds of billions of dollars in regards to flying to some foreign Cayman Island bank, a la the WikiLeaks kind of thing, and kind of WikiLeaks. At least hundreds of billions of dollars. That's 7 zeros after a whole number, by the way. 7 decimal places, or place marks, or number spaces, or whatever how you want to call it, place marks, and that has gone missing. That will go a whole shitload away to at least $1 billion could easily go to fixing some infrastructure. Can go to the indigenous people to make sure their elders have been supported, their healthcare supported, so their population can grow. The more the merrier. Canada needs more people. The indigenous world needs more people. The more the merrier. So it's also an economic good thing too, because once there's more people who are alive and healthy and pink, they're able to spend more. They're able to afford a higher middle class, strong middle class, upper middle class. Elevate humanity to elevate Albertans, elevate Canadians to a higher standard of living, so we can spend to make you people rich, to make you rich people rich. The more we have, the more we spend, basically. Henry Ford knew this, so he paid a living wage. Pay a living wage. The more we spend, and the more we can also spend on ecology too, to keep this planet's life support system. Pretend that, like I said, organs and organs, all the infrastructures and organs. So the ecological organs infrastructure is also very important. The wetlands, the greenlands, the grasslands, all the other lands, they all go to building the Canadian atmosphere that we Canadians breathe, or they go to keeping this country alive so we can grow food. Or they go to keep us under that country life so we can enjoy nature, And this is what the indigenous people want. They want to have the abundance of the resources of this planet, of this very rich planet called Earth, for everybody. And so the NDP will kind of fight for that, fight for ecological rights too. Yeah, but Canadians have an unprecedented chance here to kind of make Canada look like an attractive country to immigrate to, or to have kids in. You know, we can support child natal care, postnatal care, make sure children who are born survive. Because although the infant mortality is very low in this country, kids do get hurt still. Kids do get sick still. So more investiture towards children hospitals and stuff, and our elders too. You know, our elders have sweated. You know, they sweated in this cabinet here. This is Mom's king. They sweated here every morning, getting up early in the morning to give us suburbanite teenagers, or teenagers, or quadrinators, or whatever, a chance to go to school, to live in a nice neighborhood like this, that's safe and less crowded, a peace of mind and healthiness. And we have to show our appreciation by showing that we can support our elders, support them when they get old. Elders should be supported by a mix of state sources as well as their own sources, and mostly from their family members. But it's the church as well. You know, support elders, elder care. And there are those Canadians who have who aren't lucky to have a brain that works because of, I don't know, God's twisted plan, God's so-called plan of prosperity that we all have to believe in and trust and endure. That was the theme of yesterday's sermon, is that we must endure until the bitter end. Endure until the bitter end the hardships of life. Now these bishops and stuff who are living in luxury mansions and luxury ancient palaces looking things, yeah, I wonder if they're sharing this lifestyle with us in solidarity. They have all these golden jewels and stuff of golden crosses and golden jewels, and showing them the wealth of the Lord and the prosperity of the Lord. But that's not how this game works. Jesus ultimately came to help the poor, people like me, cards like me. We'll post these weird OCT-like videos all over YouTube. And but I do foresee that Canada has a bright future. But vote according to your conscience. Don't vote for whatever people tell you to do. Vote NDP. No, vote for your own conscience. This is what democracy is about. That's what's allowed to happen. I said to a conservative, when I became a short-term conservative, a 5-minute Tory, just because of Ralph Klein and the collapse of the PC party, the last remnants of the PC party, the once mighty PC party of the collapse, it gave way to just being conservative or alliance. All that's left was the leftover remnants of PC power here in Alberta before it dissolved. Before it merged with Reform Party, which also dissolved to form the alliance, and it became the C party, the Conservatives. I voted for. I became a 5-minute Tory, which was not necessarily a right-wing member, a Tory. You're mostly a do it because you want to vote. You want to be able to vote for the next PM. When Ralph Klein quit halfway through his term, retired halfway through his term. I can't remember what happened, but something bad happened, and some scandals or something like that. I guess it all builds up. Being a politician, it all builds up. And being an autocratic leader is not the way to go. You need to have allies, who will support you. However, you'll find that as with House of Cards, as the show House of Cards demonstrates, politicians can be quite fickle sometimes. So they're at each other's throats, and we the people, we the civilians on the ground, or the soldiers on the ground, or or people working to keep this life support system, these organs alive, and to keep this country alive, this life form called America, or this life form called Canada, alive. We're the ones who get hit hard by some kind of weird neurological problem. The neurological is being the capital, the brain is the capital. Neurological problem between the grown adults. So that's politics for you. So hopefully, the NDP will kind of, at least for the next 3 years, or perhaps, God willing, to all 5 years of the term, be able to prop up this government. Hopefully Trudeau will have to be forced to make some concessions that Canadians need if he wants to stay in power. And I hope that Trudeau does stay in power. I wish it was charismatic. This is a more charismatic time, and more of the hippie time. But this is more the cynical 90s hippie grows up time. And sadly, all these plur kids, these candy kids, these candy ravers, they had a beautiful dream. This raver dream, the Goa rave, the Goa hippie rave, which a dream. And they can eventually grow into 20-somethings, 30-somethings, and the process starts over again. The kids will come up again. Kids will start gaining a political conscience. I remember this Greta Thunberg is this Greta Thunberg girl in that indigenous girl. She's not too popular. She's not too much in the system, so I don't know. I forgot her name, but they've been doing. This has been done already. This has been done by my generation. This is the Severin Suzuki. She's a top activist, environmental activist now in her 30s, and she did this. She addressed at the UN, this UN climate goals, these UN millennial development goals or whatever. Those was all came from the 90s. Came from your parents' generation, when your parents were my age, in their 30s and 40s. Now it's my turn in their 30s and 40s to be the dad age and work my ass off to make sure you kids are able to live in suburbia. You kids are able to have this education that's very ecologically minded, and hopefully with more high tech stuff, we are able to get it this time. I myself am just a guerrilla gardener. I keep it simple. I garden in my backyard. I plant trees that are of the local fauna. I'm going to doing that at Fish Creek Park. I plan to go down to Chinham, United Kingdom, and start guerrilla planting some elm trees, and put a little thing saying, if you remove these elm trees, you're gonna piss off a vampire witch chick, Maud Barlow, or Barlow, I think her name was. And Maud Barlow, the Barlow clan, because this is supposed to be a memorandum of their tragedy, sexual assault and domesticated assault, and I suppose witchcraft. Although I don't see how, if you're a rape victim and you're murdered as a rape victim, you come back as a vampire Camarilla girl. And I plan to go start planting trees there, and hopefully the ancient rains will start raining there, and keeping the soil gooey and green. That's part of the making infrastructure. So, not only does infrastructure mean roads, telephone lines, landlines, and Wi-Fi towers, and Wi-Fi satellites, and radio towers, and ham radio towers, and poo pipes and shower pipes, and teeth pipes, water pipes. But also it means, speaking of water, it also means the ecology as well. All the different structures, the ecozone structures, such as trees, lakes, and blah blah blah, rocks, trees, and lakes, where life forms still dwell. So I plan to do that in my life. I plan to go down to Louisiana. My e-wife wants me to stay here, so I plan to do these adventures incrementally, one by one. Trying to lead an example of adventure for my kids, that they are here at home, working and living life, and playing their instruments and just entertaining themselves as bringing awesome beauty and art to this world, their own unique words, their own unique notes that only exist in their heads, right? Or their own words that exist in their heads, writing it down or verbally speaking it. This only exists in my head, This bottle collecting, or this buddah bag bathing in. Okay, so we're getting down to our 31 minutes, so another half hour is done. So thank you for listening to me mumble about the Canadian politics, and we'll see tonight how that works out. And I'm hoping the NDP gets a few seats, and I'm hoping the Greens, although I'm not a Green, but I'm hoping the Greens get a few seats as well and become an official party. They've worked hard for this over the decades. They have at least one seat in the federal, Elizabeth May, but they're poised to getting a few more. And we need more diversity in House of Commons, not just green, not just blue and red, blue and red, blue and red, blue, blah, blah, blah. And the Quebecers, if you Quebecers want to leave Canada, it's your heart. It's what you got. It's what you need to do to form your own country and form your own world. Like I said, more diversity. It's be sad because Canada will be losing a huge blob of economy, and it's going to suck for the next few decades or for the next 5 years as we adapt. But we can make it work. Just don't fuck around with the natives. Otherwise, the natives are going to really chimp out. The natives are going to fucking chimp out all over the country, and that's going to be good for Canada. It's going to be bad for your Quebec Republic, if you want to do it that way. So no more Oka. Indigenous people just want to grow their infrastructures in life, their personal infrastructures, their own bodies, their own minds, their own. Like I said, like I babbled on about the medicine wheel, their own world. The medicine wheel is their own. The secret hoop is their own world. They're in the middle of it. They're trying to access the universe, access the reality, and access the good life. And that's what we as human beings deserve, is a good life. Even conservatives, every human being deserves a good life. Unfortunately, conservatives think that no one else deserves a good life because they worked for it, right? They worked for it, yes. They got the resources, but the thing is, they empowered themselves. And that's okay too. That's all you're supposed to use their knowledge and stuff in a powerful way to empower yourself to build your world. This is, my parents built this world. This is their world. When you sell this house eventually, then they keep the money. They go do whatever with it. That's the way it works. So yeah, that's the shower show, and time to go do the chapter. I mentioned in there about the assignment. The assignment was the PDST was asking, do dispatchers, like the 911 people, the 911 people deserve to have recognition for their do they suffer from PTSD? And the answer is yes. When they pick up freaky calls, and you can type this on YouTube, scary 911 calls, people, women, especially domestic abuse. Some boyfriend comes in with a shotgun and starts shooting up the family, and the wife is going, oh my god, that's scary. Or they're hearing some kind of creepy voice saying, some kind of creepy demonic voice on the phone saying, someone creeping out, because narcotics makes humans do crazy. You'll find out. I mean, I typed in do a search of creepy 911 calls, and also the show in the 90s, Rescue 911, was a reality show by the same producer who made Cops and other shows like that. And then you always hear of the dispatchers of dealing with these freaky calls to have to figure out, okay, what do I send? Where do I send? Who do I send? That's why the 911 call is asking all these asinine questions, to get some more information to make sure they can dispatch it to the police. The police can therefore make the rational choice, aka blow up teenagers' heads with guns. And that also fucks cops up too. Believe it or not, cops do feel very gooey in the head when they shoot somebody. You know, because the thing is, they're under stress too. They don't know what the hell this person's on, or what this person's going to do to them. You know, all they know is there's a violent person with a gun. You know, and that's why they're trying to use non-lethal weapons to kind of subdue you, to figure out how the problem can get fixed. Unfortunately, going up to a teenager in a car, both Caucasian and black, and then the other ones, and blowing their heads off, but when they don't produce their license, is a viable solution. You know, even though the teenager is freaking out, has his hands shaking on the steering wheel or whatever, or has his hands shaking on his head. Oh, please don't shoot me, kind of thing. And it's getting crazy out there. This is why we need the NDP. It's getting crazy out there. This is why we need volunteers to kind of make it uncrazy. And the more insulated we get in life, the more crazier things will get. The more crazier the 911 calls will get. When Canada goes to at least 40,000 people, it's going to be freaky. We're at 38 million people right now, and when it goes to 2 more million people, absorbed into the cities, absorbed into like Toronto or any places, then this gets freaky. You know, we type in TTC and you see both Toronto transit staff freaking out, being jerks, and both the passengers being jerks. You know, humans, when they're under great duress, they become freaky, and these calls are getting very freaky. So therefore, a dispatcher has to deal with these freaky calls. You know, kind of think of them as the fry filter that handles all the burnt out fries and all the slime in the fry machine or a liver machine. You know, that's the deal. Or a water slide. You know, all the people going down the water slide, and there's always occasionally that one person that blocks it all up. And I don't know how it works. I don't know. That's a bad analogy. So yeah. So therefore. First responders, dispatch responders do get scared, and the scare, you know, when you're freaked out, it produces a shitload of weird hormones in your system that make you stress eat, or make you stress eat for comfort, or make you don't sleep, it makes you smoke more, makes you drink more. You know, that's all proven, and it has a shitload of things on your body, which is a vicious cycle. Again, the infrastructure I was mentioning. To get out of this rut that Canada has, we need to have a good, strong ecological infrastructure, which is both ecological and economical. And so far we're concentrating too much on economical. And now that we have all the wealth, now that we have all the resources, and all the technology, we have responsibility to make sure that the ecosystem, the ecological infrastructure of Canada continues to go up. Otherwise, the nature spirits will kick our ass. The fays will go bonkers and start setting fires and start flying into our. When we're sleeping at night, the little fays will get, "Fuck you, human!" And then take large matches, tiny itty bitty matches, tiny regular sized matches, which is a huge torch for them. Go into our brains, and burn our brains when we're in our sleep. Yeah, that'll happen.